All right, we got the Xiaomi 14T Pro here, and I'm gonna give you the first things you should do on this phone. So first thing you should do is press and hold on a blank spot and hit the gear at the bottom right. And this is where you can go into all these different settings here, such as transition effects. So the way your phone will go in between your home screens, you can choose what you want. I like the slide, so that's what I'm gonna keep it at, and I'm gonna hit done. Just again, to do that, and then hit the checkbox, press and hold again, hit the gear. And if you want, you can turn off the text for the apps and things like that. Otherwise, you can do it anywhere or just on the widgets. You also have your home screen layout. You can make it smaller or bigger. By default, it's 4:6, but you can make it bigger and make it 5:6. And once you do that, it'll show you what it looks like. Hit the checkbox when you're done if you like it. And then you can come back into the settings. Fill cells of uninstalled apps. So it's up to you. If you basically, when you know how all your apps are lined up, say you have 3 apps lined up. If you remove, like, say, the middle one, it's going to move all the other apps over. If you want it to do that, then keep that on. Otherwise, turn that off. You can lock your home screen layout. If you're an older person, you're always doing that, that's a great thing to turn on. Otherwise, just leave it off. If you hit more, it brings you into more home screen settings. So home screen, I like it with the app drawer. Otherwise, if you do classic, it will make it look like an iPhone where just all your apps are on your home screens. Otherwise, you have to swipe up to see all your apps, and you have home screens if you keep it with the app drawer. And then light modes for like older people, makes your apps, really big and stuff like that. App suggestions, you can see display most frequently used apps in the drawer, and I have that on, and I would leave it on too. Manage app categories, I turn this off. It's on by default, but I turn it off because when it's on and you go up here, obviously you're gonna have, obviously there's my app suggestions at the top like I just mentioned, but you end up having a bunch of categories for apps. I don't like that. I'd rather just it be in alphabetical order. So that's why I set it like that. Then we have your backgrounds. You can set it to auto or set it to dark or light. You have the option to do that. You have your scroll bar for original or A to Z. So do A to Z on that. So all your apps are in A to Z order. Place new apps on the home screen. I turn that on. So anytime I download a new app, it goes to the home screen. It's a nice thing to have. And then I don't mess with anything else there. Going back to the home screen, press and hold again. Go to the gear. Go to more, and you have Google Discover. That's when you swipe over from your home screen all the way over from the left to the right, and you can see your Google feed. You can turn that off right here if you don't want to see that. Again, that's just right here. You can turn that off if you want. I like it on, so I leave it on, so that's why I'm not messing with that at all. Swipe down on the home panel. You can see notification shade and control center, or you can just do your app finder. I would set it to this, notification shade and control center. Animation speed, it's set to relaxed. I would do fast. I like it to feel really, really fast. So that's why I would set it to fast. That means like in between you opening and closing apps and things like that. And then the rest is stuff we've kind of seen before. You do have this other stuff under other, such as system navigation. I don't like using the buttons, the back buttons and stuff. I like using the navigation gestures here. That's why I keep it at that. You can also hide your full screen indicator. You can see it turns that off. A new gesture for switching between apps will be used after you hide that. So you can turn that on or off if you want right there. You also have gesture confirmation. In some cases when playing games, a gesture will only work after they are repeated. So you can turn that on or off as well. Next, go into your camera, go into video. And what you want to do is you want to go into your up top here. So you'll see 1080, change that to 4K 30, switch it to the front. It should switch it as well. If it didn't, change that to 4K 30 there as well. And then you still have more stuff. So press that downward pointing arrow and go into the gear right here. Shutter sound, turn that off. That makes a sound when you take a photo. You don't want to hear that. You want it to be a secret, don't you, when you take your photos? And then that's it. So go home. If you swipe down from the bottom right, that'll bring up your control panel. And you can, if you want, you can edit this at the bottom here. You can remove things just by hitting the X or hit the plus and it'll add those things. It's all up to you what you want to add and remove. And then when you're done, just hit the checkbox at the top. Let's go into settings. It's right here. And the first thing that we want to do is go to About Phone. Click on where it says Xiaomi Hyper OS. and it's going to check for a software update. You can see no updates available, but if you have any updates, they'll show up in there for the OS updates. Go back to the main screen of settings, go to System Apps Updater, and this is going to see if any apps on your phone need to be updated. Go into lock screen, and this is where you can change your lock screen to be like, go to sleep in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or a minute. I think a minute is pretty good, but you also have this, turn it on, raise to wake. So if you raise your phone, the screen will turn on. You can also do detect gaze. So if you're looking at it, it will automatically turn it on. Double tap to wake or turn off the screen when device is locked, turn that on. Launch camera, this is a good one. If you press the volume down twice, that will turn on. And then you are good with that lock screen. Go back to the main screen of settings, go to notifications and status bar. Go to your notification style. This is where you can change your notification style. I keep it at Android, so that's what I would keep it at if I were you, or change it to that if it's not on that. Number of notifications, so I have it set to 3. So you can see it was at 1. It shows how many notifications I have it there. I like to see the most that it would allow. This is a cool one. If you have your carrier on here, you can come in here and change the name of it to like your name or something else if you don't want to see who your carrier is, and then just hit the checkbox after you're done. Battery indicator, change this to that so you can see 100, whatever your battery percentage is with the battery bar. I think that's the perfect way to do it. Back to the main screen of settings, go into display and brightness. This is where you can turn on light mode or dark mode, and you can go into dark mode options and switch to dark mode. We'll switch to dark mode around a scheduled time, so you can turn that on if you want, like sunrise to sunset, or set a custom time if you want. I kind of just leave it on all the time. It gives you the best battery life. So I think that's it as well. But you can also turn it on to certain apps here if you want. All you're going to do is, like, say if you want your Amazon app to be dark mode, and then hit turn on, and whenever you go into the Amazon app, it will be dark mode. Color scheme, go in there, change that to vivid, or you can change it to saturated. Either one's going to look really, really nice. I think it looks better than the original. Original looks a little bit too dull for me, so just choose the one that you like. Refresh rate, I clicked on this, but it's set to default, and it will go to 144 Hertz, but why not always make it go there? It will kill a little bit more battery, but hey, you'll have a really smooth display. So change that to 144 Hertz, just tap on this, change to 144 under custom. Font, you can change the font of what you see on your phone if you want. Just click on it and it'll change it. You can also do font settings. So if you want it to be a bigger size, you can change it right here to make your font bigger so it's easier to read. Back to the main screen of settings, go to sound and vibration. This is where you can change your ringtone. Just tap ringtone, for instance, and then find the ringtone that you like. Maybe you're like, I want something motivating. You come in here, choose what you want. No, I have my ringer silence, but you can tap on that and set it as your ringtone. Same thing with your alarm. You can change that. You can control your volumes right here as well for your alarm and your media and all that. You have your other modes here, and then vibrate for calls, turn it on or off. It's going to vibrate by default. It's going to vibrate in silence mode if you want or not. Haptic feedback, I like to turn that off, so I'm going to turn it off. Sound effects, if you come in here, you can do a couple things here. So for instance, I would turn it on and I would set this to the Dolby Atmos. You're going to get really, really good sound. And the graphic equalizer, you can choose an equalizer that you think works the best for you for the sound that you'd like. You have immersive sound, so immersive sound and the sense of space when audio is played. I keep it off, but you might like it on to get a more bigger sound to what you're listening to. Back to settings, wallpaper and personalization. You can come in here and you have a whole store to choose from for different wallpapers and things. Some are free, some are paid, and you can come in here and download them and set them for your device. You can hit find more, and there's categories. You can set up your account so it remembers what you downloaded and all kinds of stuff. Very, very cool and very, very helpful to find and add a bunch of different wallpapers. Fingerprint, face data, and screen lock. So come in here, and if you go into like fingerprint unlock, I'm gonna just remove it for a second. You can come in here and it will lock your screen. You can do privacy password if you want. You can do app lock on you with your fingerprint. You can add a fingerprint. You have a fingerprint animation if you want to change that. That's what it is by default, but maybe you want it to be like dream or starlight. You can change that when you do your, or just have no animation at all. It's up to you. I would keep this off. Low light fingerprint unlock. It lowers the brightness of the fingerprint icon in low light. You don't want that to be bright in your eyes. You also have face unlock. So if you set this up, it's going to do face unlock on your device. I'm going to hit start, and it's going to say face unlock is less secure than a PIN, password, or pattern. So you don't have to do this, but if I do it, let me just do it real quick. Keep your face in the frame. There we go. It's using my face. There you go. It set my face up. I can give it a name if I want, but basically this is kind of cool. So stay on lock screen after unlocking. Turn that off. So when it unlocks with your face, it'll automatically go to your home screen. Very, very helpful. Keep this off. This gets so bright in your eyes at night, you do not want it on. Go into wireless emergency alerts, and you want to turn off test alerts if it's not already turned off. You don't need to know if they're testing for an alert. And there you go. That is the Xiaomi 14T Pro. First things that you should do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.